As Spain enters a tense decade, the Spanish army fielded the R-26 uniform. Born before the Republic and the Civil War, it continued in service with Republican-era insignia. This is the complete kit of a Spanish infantryman, laid out piece by piece just as he would have carried it on the eve of the Civil War. Let's break down each item in detail. First, the essential white cotton undergarments. Designed for comfort in Spain's warmer climates, this set consists of short drawers and a long-sleeved camisole. Notice it's a pullover style with buttons only at the neck, a practical design for daily wear and field conditions. There is a common discussion among Spanish reenactors about this. Was the shirt under the tunic white or green? For summer, and looking at photos and videos from 1936, it seems the standard shirt was white with collar opening. Later in the war, you see many different shirts under the uniform, but for a soldier in the summer of 1936, this white undershirt is what I've chosen to show. In 1926, Spain adopted a single, standardized field uniform for the army, and by 1936 it was used across the country. At the beginning of the war, depending on their garrison commanders, units were mobilized either to swear loyalty to the Republic or to revolt, and this is the uniform they wore. For summer service, the R-26 meant a khaki green tunic with a turned-down collar and the granadero or polena trousers. These cotton trousers integrate the gaiter, a snug lower leg that buttons along the outside with khaki ball buttons. At the hem, a fabric strap passes under the footwear to lock the leg in place, preventing riding up on the march. The cut is fuller at the thigh for movement, tapering below the knee for a clean, secure fit, practical for drill, long marches, and field duty. For the upper part, we have the R-26 khaki cotton jacket with a turned-down sailor-style collar. It has 5 front buttons, pressed paste, and the clean, plain cuffs. Along the collar tips, you'd normally see branch emblems. Here I'm pointing out the Republican period badges without the royal crown. The classic infantry emblem, horn, sword, and arquebus, symbolizes movement, close combat, and firepower. In the center, it has 2 pockets set between the second and third buttons, each with a flap, a single button, and a double box pleat with gusset for capacity. Finally, on the back at waist level, you can see the 2 small hooks. These anchor the leather web belt of the field equipment. Trapezoid shoulder straps finish the piece, each secured with a button. Let's talk footwear. In 1936, there were 2 main types, the leather ankle boots and the iconic alpargatas. These were a very typical Spanish shoe, especially among rural workers. Canvas uppers with esparto grass soles, light, breathable, and with good grip in summer. But they weren't just civilian. Alpargatas were official army issue, widely supplied alongside boots. You see them on every front and on both sides throughout the war. Cheap and easy to replace, each pair was expected to last roughly 3 months before a new issue. Alongside the alpargatas, we have the leather ankle boots. As you can see in this period photo, these were robust, practical, and essential for a soldier. Made of sturdy leather, they offered far more protection and durability than alpargatas, especially on rough terrain, in colder weather, or during prolonged campaigns. They were laced up, providing good ankle support, and were designed to be worn with the polena trousers for a complete and secure fit. These boots were a constant companion for the Spanish infantrymen throughout the war. For the headwear, the service cap, officially the gorro de cuartel, but widely known as the Gorrillo Isabelino, a nod to Queen Isabella's time cap. Introduced in 1926, it began as an officer's cap, quickly becoming standard headwear for NCOs and enlisted men too. Before its adoption, the beret was the standard issue, but it was phased out by 1930, except for specialized mountain troops. The distinctive red piping, or soutache, and the tassel on this cap clearly mark it as infantry soldier. This simple, practical, and very Spanish cap became an iconic silhouette of the R-26 uniform. The macuto, or side bag, was standard army issue, simple to manufacture and widely used by both sides throughout the war. Made from sturdy canvas, it closed with a strap and a multi-hole buckle for quick adjustment. Inside went the soldier's daily essentials. First, a metal plate with 2 handles, rugged and easy to clean. Then a mess tin for cooking and eating. It was usually also seen hanging on the belt. Next, some spare clothing like a clean undershirt and socks to rotate on long marches. A durable cup for water, coffee, or any kind of drinkable liquid. And finally, the basic cutlery set for eating. This simple macuto held the vital personal gear, keeping a soldier self-sufficient and ready for the demands of campaign life. To complete the equipment, the soldiers could carry the backpack, or morral de espalda. It was standard Spanish army issue from the 1920s, but less seen than the side bag. Inside, soldiers typically carried extra clothes, spare underwear and socks, a small hygiene kit, rations or dry food, and sometimes the mess tin or cup, basic items for daily life on campaign. Let's move on to one of the most iconic and important pieces, the Carniago pattern web gear in hazelnut brown leather. This was standard issue equipment for the Spanish army under the 1926 regulations, but in practice it was used en masse by all kinds of units on both sides throughout the Civil War. In short, this is the basic infantry rig, simple, sturdy, and adaptable. To take it apart, the first thing I remove is the buckle, because it closes the belt and effectively locks the rest of the components in place. The buckle I have mounted is the infantry pattern, which we've already discussed, and I've brought 3 more to compare branch differences and wartime variants. Infantry buckle, a straightforward branch emblem designed for mass production and durability. Artillery buckle, the classic flaming grenade motif, a spherical bomb with a fuse, echoing artillery symbolism found across Europe. Engineer's buckle, a castle, representing fortification, construction, and technical support to combat. And finally, a plain, flat buckle with no insignia. This no-emblem type became common on the Republican side to simplify and speed up production during the war, fewer manufacturing steps, faster output. Functionally, they're interchangeable within the Carniago setup, but the iconography tells you a lot about branch, origin, and the pressures of the conflict. With the buckle off, I detach the ammunition pouches from the belt. Here you see 3 leather pouches with hinged flaps and strap closures. Each pouch holds 10 Mauser 7x57mm clips, keeping cartridges protected from moisture and mud while allowing quick access. Distributed evenly around the waist, they balance the load and let the shooter reach ammo with a strong hand without breaking rhythm. You'll find small differences in stitching, loops, and markings, but the logic is consistent: durability, protection, and speed of opening. Next is the canteen. Humble but essential. Typically, these canteens rode on the belt or a side loop, often inside a textile or felt cover to reduce glare and add insulation. Placement mattered. It needed to counterweight the pouches and be easy to drink from without tearing down the rig. Note that the Y-shaped suspenders do not attach directly to the belt. They hook into the loops on the top of the ammunition pouches. This setup is essential for stability. It shifts the load onto the suspenders. Now to the bayonet. The standard M1913 machete bayoneta for the Spanish Mauser. In brief, this is the regulation bayonet for the Mauser model 1893/1916 family and compatible rifles. It has a single-edged 40cm steel blade with a fuller to reduce weight, a crossguard with a muzzle ring to seat on the barrel, and a ribbed wooden grip fixed with rivets. The locking mechanism, spring and push button, secures it to the rifle's lug and nose cap. It rides in a black leather scabbard, suspended from the belt via a leather frog. Finally, as I remove the last ammunition pouch, I want to show you what's inside. Here's a standard Mauser stripper clip loaded with 5 rounds. These clips allowed for quick reloading, a critical advantage in sustained firefights. The leather pouch, with its robust construction, kept these vital rounds secure and protected. Now, with all the components laid out on the blanket, you can see the entire Carniago web gear system disassembled. For head protection, we have the M1926 helmet, instantly recognizable by its cement gray paint, a common sight during the Civil War. Inside, it features a 3-tongue leather liner over felt for comfort, and a simple 2-piece chin strap with a buckle designed for practical field use. Now let's talk about the wool blanket, a truly iconic item of the Civil War, easily identified by its distinctive white stripe. This blanket was absolutely essential, even in summer, providing crucial warmth and cover for sleeping. Soldiers often carried it rolled and slung across the chest over one shoulder. Sometimes they'd even cut a hole in the center to wear it as a makeshift poncho, highlighting its versatility and importance in the field. Finally, I fold the blanket tight and secure it with a leather strap, compact, silent, and ready to sling over the shoulder for the next march or a cold night on watch. To conclude, we turn to the iconic Mauser model 1916 rifle, often simply called the Oviedo after its primary manufacturing location in Spain. This bolt-action rifle, a shorter and lighter variant of earlier Mauser designs, was the backbone of the Spanish infantry. Chambered in 7x57mm Mauser, it was renowned for its accuracy, reliability, and robust construction. Both sides of the conflict relied heavily on the Oviedo, making it a ubiquitous symbol of the Spanish Civil War. Its presence on the battlefield underscored its enduring effectiveness as a soldier's primary weapon. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 𝗺26 kit, please like, share, and subscribe. Drop your questions in the comments and stay tuned for the next reenactment breakdown. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.